just start. Don't even think about it. Don't even let it sit and linger. And you could start by journaling. Know and feel and understand that your story matters.
That was Tamika Ford sharing her advice for anyone who wants to tell their own story. Stay tuned to hear more about Tamika's journey as a writer on Pages of Voices. I'm your host, Meg Bell. We'll be back after the intro. Welcome to the Local Author Podcast, sponsored by the Allen County Public Library. This podcast is dedicated to featuring the works of talented authors within our community and highlighting their unique voices and perspectives. Good afternoon. This is Pages and Voices, and I'm your host, Meg Bell. Today, I am joined by local author Tamika Ford, author of More to Lyfe, a powerful and faith-filled memoir that shines a light on the strength it takes to survive childhood trauma, poverty, and abandonment, and the healing that can come when purpose meets pain. She is also a nurse, speaker, and healing advocate who uses her voice and story to empower others to keep going no matter what. Through her platform, More to Lyfe, she is creating space for restoration, truth, and transformation. Tamika, welcome to the podcast.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thrilled that you could be here. Now, I'm going to have you share a reading like I always do from your very personal book. But before you do, I'm going to tell our listeners a little bit about it.
Okay.
In a world where strength is the key to survival, More to Lyfe follows the journey of a young child who, despite unimaginable hardships, finds the courage to fight for a better life. This poignant and powerful story takes readers into the heart of trauma and growth, showing how even in the darkest moments, hope can begin to take root. Through trials and tribulations, the child learns that survival is just the first step, and true strength lies in the ability to rise above their circumstances. This deeply emotional tale will resonate with anyone who has ever faced adversity, reminding them that the power to shape their own future lies within. Tamika, take it away.
We could hear the yelling from inside the house all the way to the car. The raw emotion in Grandpa's voice echoed through the tension, and I could feel the pain he carried. To see his daughter in such a state that her lifestyle has taken on, and to see us, his grandchildren, suffering because of it, was more than anyone should have to fathom. As I sat in the car with my siblings, I could only stare back at the house. The thought of being away from my mom, the woman who had brought us into the world, the happy times, and also many of our struggles felt impossible. It was the hardest thing I have ever faced. The pain of separation was heartbreaking and unbearable. We had been with her through so much. Through the highs and the lows, through the joy and the heartbreak, we had seen her at her best, and we also seen her at her worst. No matter what, we had always stood by her side. We had promised, without words, that we would go all the way with her. So why did it feel so wrong to leave? Then the tears started. We all cried. The car was filled with the sound of our sobs, the tears falling down our faces like waterfalls, drenching our little shirts. Our noses ran, and we sounded like howling dogs, each of us crying and screaming, wishing we could just run back to her. This was one of the saddest moments of my life. My mind raced, spinning like a whirlwind. I needed answers, and I needed them now. How would she survive without us? Would this make things worse for her? Would it make her stronger, like Grandpa hoped, so that we could come home one day? Would she even notice that we were gone? Would she realize what was happening right now? Would she be okay without us? Or would she forget about us, lost in her own struggles? It may sound crazy, but at that moment, I would have rather stayed with her than started over somewhere else. I was only 8 years old, but I could only think about her. She was my mom. She was the one who had always been there, no matter what. And even though it hurt more than words could say, I still loved her dearly. Grandpa comes fuming out of the house, slamming the door behind him with a thunderous boom that makes us flinch in the car. His heavy footsteps echo as he stumped to the car, his face tight with fury and something deeper, pain. Without hesitation, he throws himself into the driver's seat, yanking the door shut with a loud thud.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
So that is just a small part of your highly personal book.
Yes.
The story begins in your early years, where you share with readers stories of a stable home life and loving parents. Around the time you were 4 years old, things took a hard left turn, and for the next 4 years, there were a lot of terrible things done to you and your siblings by somebody who was supposed to be caring for you.
Mm-hmm.
You describe those turbulent times in a calm voice filled with raw honesty. How hard was it for you to revisit that time and tell this part of the story?
It was like opening a locked door that I had boarded shut for decades. I had to relive the screams, the silence, and the moments I tried to forget just to get them onto the pages. But I knew that if I didn't go there, someone else wouldn't find their way out.
Absolutely. When did you begin thinking, I want to write this down, I want to do this?
The moment I realized silence wasn't healing me, I kept saying, there has to be more to life. That was the phrase that I always used as a child. And I was like, there has to be more to life than this. It just has to be. Like, this is not my final destination. And the phrase haunted me until I turned it into purpose.
Did you feel like you needed permission to write this story from anyone? I am fond of saying my story is not just mine. My sisters lived it too. So I feel like if I put my story down, I'd have to go to my sisters and be like, hey, are you okay with me doing this? Did you feel like you needed to do that at all? Or?
Yes, in a way I did. My sister and I actually were supposed to collaborate on this project. And in the midst of journaling, before I even started, I gave her the idea. I was like, hey, I want to write this book. I want us to write it together because it's our story together. We're only 11 months apart. So she was like, yes, let's do it. And then in the midst of us doing it together, she couldn't do it emotionally. So
Sure.
it broke her down like after every other paragraph, and I had a conversation with her, and I was like, hey, let me just take over. Eventually I'll have it published. I'll give you your copy. You can read it. And she still hasn't finished it yet, but she will in her own time.
Yeah.
So I did get permission from her. As far as that goes, but other than that, I gave myself permission to bleed on the pages.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You really do have to give yourself permission to tell the
Right.
story. You do.
Yes.
So I understand that.
Yes.
Once you decided, I'm doing this, what is the first thing you did?
I cried, and then I prayed, and then I started writing like the little girl in me had been waiting for her whole life to even speak.
Did you remember anything while you were writing it that you had pushed away? Or did you remember it all just exactly as it happened?
Well, I collaborated with my sister on some things because when you go through trauma as a child, your brain protects you.
You forget.
So I did forget some things, but my sister was like, hey, no, this is what happened. So we did collaborate on that. I would catch her at a good time and say, I'll sneak it in like, hey, what happened here? What happened here? So she didn't really think too much into it to become emotionally unstable. So
Right.
I did do that. But yes, I remember mostly everything.
Okay. All right. So did you leave anything out, whether due to space constraints or because it was just too difficult to share?
Yes, some truths are still too sharp to touch, but I gave enough I gave enough to shake the soul and show the scars, because this wasn't about perfection. It was about more like getting my power back.
Yeah. Yeah. Were there any resources you found helpful while writing the book?
My only resource was pain. I didn't go to any workshops. I didn't use any writing tools. I went to war with my past and turned survival into scripture. So I basically started with just writing everything down that I could ever remember in my whole life, in that increment from birth to 8 years old. In this book, I just started writing everything down, and then I went back and did like a chronological order type of thing. The basic, what you learn in school, like in English class and writing, So I journaled, and then I went back and did like a chronological order type of thing.
Sure. Absolutely. So you have a day job, correct?
Yes.
You're a nurse.
Yes.
So how did you make the time to write? When were you doing this in addition to that?
Well, typically, writing doesn't ask for my time. It demanded my truth. So I wrote during lunch breaks. I wrote at the stoplights, in the bathroom. I mean, whenever I had a spare couple moments, I would just write until I couldn't write anymore. Whenever my spirit said now, that's when I started writing. So it's just like journaling, but I didn't schedule it. It wasn't like a scheduled type of thing.
It sounds like it needed to find air.
Yes.
And you just were ready to get it out.
Yes. That's exactly what it was.
Right.
Yes.
Yep. So how does your book create a space for individuals who have experienced trauma to feel seen, understood, or less alone?
It says you're not crazy. You're not weak. You're not alone. I wrote what most people are scared to say out loud. And in doing that, I built a bridge for others to walk across their own pain.
So I noticed that it does have different spelling. So for our listeners, the title is spelled Moore, 2 T-O, and then Lyfe, L-Y-F-E. So why the different spelling?
So Moore is my maiden name.
Okay.
Moore was my maiden name. I'm currently married. So, and then Lyfe is spelled Lyfe because it's what I had to fight for. And it's not life like the usual life. I always say I had a heck of a life. So I put the Y in there to show the difference. It's a life that was remixed, rebuilt, and reclaimed in myself to help as many people as I can that don't talk about the family secrets, or that aren't able to break generational curses. So with the saying that I used to say when I was a child, there has to be more to life than this, I pulled the more to life out of it, and then I just switched it up.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Makes it more personal.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. So how did this experience shape your beliefs and principles that guide you through life? I mean, it must inform how you wife and you're a mother?
Yes.
Wife and mother?
Yes. It taught me that love isn't always safe, but healing is always possible, and that my voice was never meant to be silenced. It was meant to break chains.
What is the number one thing you want readers to take away from this book?
That you don't have to stay where trauma left you. You can get up. You can rebuild. You can write your new chapter. I like to tell everyone, even if they went through something, even like falling off a bike and scraping your knee, that's a type of trauma for children. They're like, oh, I don't ever want to do that again. So you don't ever have to stay stagnant in your situation. And you can find ways to heal, to embrace, to cherish, the life we have, because we only have one. So just moving forward on faith, that'd be the best advice that I can give anyone.
I think you said it when you said you don't have to stay where trauma left you.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think you've just came up with your T-shirt slogan. This is your T-shirt.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I like it. Let's put it on a T-shirt. So this book was self-published through More to Life LLC.
Yes.
So, obviously you created that. Was there any part of that process you didn't care for? Anything you learned?
Yes, the wait time. And I'm also self-published, so the wait time was, I felt like, ridiculous. It takes time. I call this project like my baby because it took time. You know, you're a woman, you have children, you have 9 months. It's time to build that baby up. So the time limit, the formatting, most of it is kind of like really frustrating if you don't have the patience of the universe. And so, but none of that compares to the freedom of telling my story. Any advice that I would give anyone that wants to write their own book or publish anything is to research it first. And I tell everyone, because that's what I had to do. In the author world, I had to research a lot of things because I didn't understand it. So I would say research and add on the journaling, or like a diary, but writing it down.
So how long did it take you after once the book was wrote and then you had it self-published? Do you remember what the length of time, what was that whole length of time?
Oh, it was about 2 years. So God put it on my heart to write this book in '09, and I wasn't ready for the world to know me, so
sure.
I was in a registered nursing school and for 2 years, and so in registered nursing school, with me already being an LPN, I started writing then. And so it was easier for me because I was already a LPN going into RN school. So I started writing, and that took 2 years of the writing process.
Okay. And then you had to go through the publishing process.
Yes, I had to go through the publishing. So I tried to go through publishing companies and get my book edited, but no one would do it because it was more straight to the point. It wasn't I don't want to say audience friendly, but the words that I use as a first time author, I would really go into in-depth detail of the molestation, of the trauma, and everybody was like, no, it's the million no's. So I redid the whole book. I revamped the whole book, the vocabulary, and I made it more audience friendly.
Okay.
And so that was a process. So I had to rewrite what I already wrote. And then I was like, okay, instead of going through a publishing company, why don't I just self-publish? So that's what I did.
Yeah, okay. Makes sense. So the cover of the book is powerful. That cover is, you got to get your hands on it, people. I mean, seriously. How did you create it?
I wanted me, my brother, and my sister on the cover. I knew that for sure.
Yeah.
And I was like, I seen this vision, and I'm like, it's our childhood. I want it on the block. It's this neighborhood. But I want everyone to see that it's monsters there. Kind of like monsters under the bed type thing when you were a kid. But yes. And so I want everyone to see that it's a woman turning back on her pain and walking into the light. So I knew I wanted it to be bold, and I wanted it to draw the readers in, to be like, if they're in the library and they walk past this book say, hey, oh my gosh, I want to read that. They grab it and they automatically grab it and read the back. So you have that amazing story on the back with the girl in the middle of a street. I want people to question why these children are out at night. So I had this whole envision, and then I just came up with the cover.
Did you create that? Did you do that online, or did somebody do that for you?
So what I did was I came up with the vision, and I sent it over to the book designer.
Okay, yeah.
And so we went through maybe 5 trials and tribulations manipulations of covers, okay? Because so what people have to understand and realize, when you go through people, they don't see the vision like you see the vision.
Yeah.
They just see the words of what you want, and they put it in their vision. And I had to explain to her, like, no, that's not it. That's not it. I love it, but that's not what I want. And so this was like the fifth one, and I was like, oh, that's it.
When you saw it, you
that's
knew.
it. That's it. Yes.
Okay. All right. Who was that local, or was that online, or was
Online.
that okay?
Yes, I found her online. I don't have her name with me right now. I think it's Aaliyah. Her name's Aaliyah Lang or something like that. But she's an amazing editor. I mean, book formatter. Sorry.
So you have a companion journal to the book that has a different cover. Did you create that the same way? Did you go through her, or was that a different process?
No. I created that on my own.
Okay.
And it has the ideas of the yellow, bright,
It's very
joyful.
hopeful. Yeah.
Yes. And with it being a 30-day positive affirmation journal that you can fill out, I wanted to bring the joy out in the journal. So I used the butterflies, I used the yellow coloring, and I designed it myself to show that there's also a brighter side to life. So once you read the book and then you do the journal, it gives you a different feel of your surrounding environment. It puts you out. It, like the first day, it says I have joyful actions in it, and the first day it has take a walk outside for 10 minutes and listen to the sounds around you. And you know, in 2025, everyone is so busy with life that we don't have time to do anything. So I have a different joyful action for each day, but the journal cover I made on my own.
Okay. All right. So if you had to complete the book writing, publishing process all over again, is there anything you would do differently?
I would have a little more patience as an author with the process time on everything, because I was like, the book is already written. It's already done. What are we waiting for? I was super excited to get it out, and I would have had a little more patience.
Okay. Yeah. You said it earlier that it's like having a baby.
Yes.
It's like a labor of love, this book. So that's what I keep going back to in my mind.
That's exactly it.
And so we all know it takes 10 months to have a baby. So, I mean, maybe, I guess, need to remember that if I ever write a book.
Yes.
So do I understand correctly? This is a series and there's more forthcoming?
Correct. Yes,
okay.
That is right. More to Life 2, the next chapter will be coming out here soon. I'm halfway through that book, and with me doing this one, the process will be a little quicker, but I'll also have more patience and understanding. But yes, so this is a series. This goes through increments in my life all the way up until now. And so More to Life 2, More to Life 3, but More to Life 2, the next chapter will be dropping soon.
And how old, what's the age range in that book?
So the age range, so this one is 0 to, well, I always say 0. I mean, newborn, before I was even born, to 8 years old. And then the next one would be like 8 to 15, and then we'll go in like increments like that.
Okay. All right. So I don't feel like I can let you out of here without asking you, when did the healing begin?
When I stopped trying to explain the pain and I started writing it down, that's when the healing got loud for me. But it also came when I felt comfortable in my skin. I always questioned my life as a child, like, why am I here? You deal with depression and everything else. So I feel like once I matured into the person that I am, and once I start loving myself, and it's that self-healing and forgiveness, that's when I was okay to open up about everything.
And briefly, your mom and siblings, they're doing okay?
They're
at the end of this, I was like, what? Wait a minute, what? No. I gotta know.
Like, don't
Am I?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
So they're each walking their own path. Healing looks different for
It does.
everyone.
It absolutely does.
And sometimes the story continues even after the pages close. And so I will definitely go over that in more books to come. So I want to kind of like keep that a little secret.
You're
Wherever
dangling it in front of me. After the
it's a teaser.
It's a teaser. After it stopped rolling, I'm going to ask some more. Okay, so I want to move into a little bit more lighthearted get to know you questions.
Okay.
So, what is your favorite thing to do on your time off?
Travel with my husband and kids. We love to travel, road trip. We will hop in the car and leave.
Yeah.
So we definitely leave the city, get around new people, new things, and do exciting things, and we just celebrate life.
Is there any place you like to go in particular, or you just nowhere's off limits?
Tennessee Cabins is probably one of our
Yeah.
number one. You can go winter, summer, spring, fall.
It's beautiful down
yes,
there. Yeah,
we
right.
love the mountains, so that would be one. And then Florida, we love it there. We actually took a trip there. It was supposed to be 18 hours, but we turned it into 23-hour long drive just by stopping, going to the gas stations. They even had a gas station that served ice cream. Like,
Did you go to
came in ice.
Buc-ee's?
Yes.
That huge.
Yes.
It's not a truck stop because trucks aren't allowed there. It's
Right.
a car. It's like a car stop, but
Yes,
it's enormous.
we go to Buc-ee's all the time.
That place is
we
really
love
neat.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, we have to. So we would stop and we have to get something out of there. Like everybody
know.
has to get something.
It's
So,
impossible. I almost walked out of
yes.
there with a leather purse. But
See,
and
I was
okay,
like,
you know what? No.
But it's fun and it's making memories. So I love that.
Yeah, I do too. So, what's a guilty pleasure when it comes to food?
Food. Oh my goodness, I love sweets.
Oh, me too.
I love snacks. I love cookies. I love cakes, and eating it at late night is just a fetish for me. I don't know. And I have to
good
stop.
time.
I have to stop, but I can't. It's they say sugar is an addiction. So I'm trying to fast from that right now.
It's
but
hard.
I could eat a whole pack.
I hear
I
you.
could eat.
I hear you. So, if your book were made into a movie, who would star in it?
I would have to say Keke Palmer. She's very bold, fearless, and she would definitely be able to carry my younger voice with power.
What's the number one thing on your bucket list, and have you done it?
Well, telling my story was a top of the list, but now on my bucket list is to reach the world with my story. I can see it. I can envision it. I actually see it right in front of me already being done. For anybody, I want to touch the whole world with my story because I know it can help so many people. And I've been through. I feel like God put me on earth in a way to be a warrior for so many people that's been through so many things. And once all my series of books are out, I feel like everyone around the world can be like, oh, I went through that, or I've been through that, or my mom, or you may know somebody that's been there, So this book even helps a lot of people that nothing's ever happened to them in their whole life. I get that comment a lot too, like, you helped me to see
That, yes.
how
that not
it is.
everybody has that situation.
So
I know.
That's my goal.
I know. I'm always telling my kids, I'm like, you guys don't even know how good you have it.
Yes.
But that is on purpose.
Yes.
That's something I work very hard
That is
for.
true. That is true.
But I also want them to know, I want them to be
Right.
aware.
Right. Because if they don't know, then, you know.
You don't know why somebody's acting out. You don't know why
You don't.
there's kids at school doing things that they don't understand. Like,
No.
you don't know what they might possibly be dealing with. So let's give it a little grace.
Right. Oh, that's
So
amazing.
that's what we talk
I love
about.
that. I love that.
I love that you came today. Thank you so much for joining us on Pages and Voices and sharing your story so authentically and so honestly.
Yes. Thank you for having me. Oh my goodness, I love it. I'm so thankful. I'm grateful to be here. Anytime.
And, I should ask you, how can fans reach you?
Okay, so right now, Google, if you could Google More to Life by Tamika Ford, I pull up on like 5 pages on Google. But to reach me, I do have a website, which is moretolife.net, MOORE2, and then Lyfe, LYFE.net. You could reach me on there. You could do an email subscription. Just put your email in, and I'll keep you up to date on everything. I also have an email that anyone can reach me on, which is moretolife@yahoo.com. But that's mainly it. But you can literally get on Google and find me anywhere.
Okay, great. Good deal. Thank you again.
Thank you.
And thank you to those who listened in. Stay tuned for more Authors on Pages and Voices. I'm your host, Meg Bell. Until next time. Thank you for joining us on Pages and Voices, a source for local authors and their stories. From the studios of Access Fort Wayne at the Allen County Public Library in downtown Fort Wayne, Indiana, I'm your host, Meg Bell. A special thank you to Kay Gregg for her work engineering and editing this episode. We've explored fascinating stories and insightful discussions today, but our journey doesn't end here. Find more episodes of Pages and Voices wherever you listen to podcasts. If you enjoyed this podcast, please show your support by liking, subscribing, and sharing it with your friends and family. Stay tuned for more inspiring conversations with the area's authors and their insights into the written word. Until next time, keep turning the pages, and we look forward to welcoming you back soon.